Hello, lovely people. It has been a while. It has been postulated to me how corrupt are the Ontario courts and the tribunals at this moment in Canada. Well, okay, what's today's date? Today is June the 13th, 2026. Well, I cannot speak for all of them, but with my matters, if you look on my site, unfair dismissal. I have been in the Divisional Court, the Ontario Labor Relations Board, and the Human Rights Tribunal, Ontario. Although that one is still ongoing, I've had the one conference, and oh, doodles, that lawyer. Well, their representative. It's my wife, her English, it's good, but it's still her second language. And she says to me on the aside, she says, that guy hates you. He was supposed to be in there trying to help negotiate a settlement, and he was spouting lies. It's like I'm saying, I've been after a contingency lawyer from, oh, well, you can't find one because your your case doesn't hold merit. Well, I can't find one because my case doesn't pay enough for the lawyers. Because I clarified it later with some of the legal profession, and they said, truth be known, lawyers are a greedy bunch, and they don't. Human rights cases don't pay enough for settlement, and that's why they don't get contingency. And the same with the Labor Relations Board. Well, anyways, how corrupt are they? I thought I would speak to the matter of my union represented that was given me when I requested that he recuse himself. Well, trouble had started in my case back in 2021, where AI said, oh, you have too many drug receipts and there's some fraudulent going on. And one, one out of how many doctors they tested did not hold a valid license. I don't know about you people, but who asked for their doctor's license to check when they go in to see the doctor? Well, I was overseas and the Philippines, and as many of you may know, things are not always 100% in the Philippines. I'm not saying that, well, I guess in a way I am saying Senator Santiago's even argued that. Well, she's dead now, I believe, but for the most corrupt country in Southeast Asia, who was it? I think they said Indonesia was. And then she's like, that's not true. That's not true. We are. The Filipinos are. We're the most corrupt. And she's, we speak English. They don't. I just, wow. At least she spoke her mind. Anyhow, this individual, he's, I was told to contact him because Dino Chiodo, he's the executive branch of Unifor. Because General Motors, I'm a union employee here. I was. And I was told contact him by my local um, union and retirees and like that, but they couldn't do anything because I was still out on sick and disability at the time. The doctors hadn't yet to give me my return to work papers. Anyhow, I did. And he had sat the Green Shield chair for negotiating some of the medical language for the contracts. Not General Motors Green Shield for the insurance company. Well, he said right off the hop, it's like he took offense. He said, well, you're guilty. And I get this letter. Um, this could go to court. Please spell out your guilt. And like, well, boom, I'm threatened to go to court. So of course I send it to a lawyer, and he responded in kind. It's like, we'll go to court. Of course, they backed right off, because how can they go to court when they're accusing me of X number of dollars, a lot of dollars. But over 7 or 8 years, with a family of well, varying, I believe, from a top of 7 to 5 people, and over all these years, is for drug receipts, and only one doctor. But he right away, you're guilty. And that was in 2021. So then when I get my return to work orders from the General Motors doctors, you're going back to work, buddy. What can I do? I'm thinking the doctors put me out of work, the doctors put me back into work. But General Motors, and the union as well, Unifor. Anyways, Unifor, what happens? Lo and behold, I get Dino Chiodo to represent me. Well, he had already made up his mind in 2021. Don't forget, he set the chair for the drug company, and he's like 100% for them. Yeah, they said it. It must be right. Let's not investigate. Let's not do anything. Because nothing was investigated. They didn't hold investigation. And Vavilov says they have to, or they should. But see, none of the courts cited self-represented, pardon me, self-represented. And they don't listen. Even the one group out of Toronto that was like, oh, we won with the labor board. I believe it was Gadnavov, and with against Unifor, if I recollect correctly, but they got it on the arbitrary language. They said he had a case of arbitrary treatment because they never investigated. Well, no, they did not investigate. And without investigation, that's arbitrary treatment. I'm contacting this group, and they're on the internet saying how good they are and people. And well, they said, don't call us back. What lawyers, and not all lawyers are good either. And anyways, it's you could look it up. It's not hard to find. And they're one of the big firms that always put out help notes and that. Anyways, I said, Dino, you should recuse yourself. And it was recognized in the language that I had said this. They spelled it out in the Ontario Labor Relations Board. Well, the Labor Relations Board did nothing. And it goes on to divisional court because I appealed. A panel of 3 judges. And they still did not recognize that Dino Chiodo should recuse himself. But yet the language says, here, the official language said, and I'll put the citing below on the channel, but it says here, the legal definition of recuse is what would an informed person viewing the matter realistically and practically, and having thought the matter through, conclude. Well, this individual had made up his mind already in 2021, and he is supposed to be my union representative defending me, and he's already decided my guilt back in 2021. Well, how a normal person, an informed person, that these are judges. Are they that out to lunch? Anyways, you decide. Um, how corrupt are they? It was put to me, and well, there's one incident. You decide. It's like, how can he represent me when he already declared me guilty? And nobody saw a problem with this? And the same matter has been brought up with the human uh, rights board as well. We'll see what they say later on. And now I'm putting also going into the Court of Appeals of Ontario again with all this information. Lovely people, wish me well. Thank you very much. Bye.